Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Thursday, March 24th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hey, of course, you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Connect to me. It's great. All right, just remember also, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget, if you guys hit the share button the most of everyone else, you get free tickets to the 4MMW event. Go to www.4mmw, and you can find out more about that. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can also comment live on the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and it's not the Money Chat Now fan page, go to the Money Chat Now fan page and comment there so I can see who you are. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class tonight by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, before we get started, I just want to say hello to a couple of people who just popped up online. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mick. And hey, Peter. And hey, Joe. Thanks, guys. I totally appreciate you guys. All right, on today's show, of course, we're going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be talking about the Supreme Court nomination hearing. This just makes me laugh. We're going to be talking about semiconductors and oil, SpaceX and China, and we're going to be finding out if gas or electric cars are cheaper. All right, real quick, a couple other people who just joined us, Charles and Dave and Lou, thanks so much. All right, yesterday, let's talk about yesterday. I'm thinking that yesterday was kind of just like a fear of missing out day, a FOMO day. Basically the fear of missing out of the past few weeks' rallies. The market moved down, the Dow closed down over 400 points, and the NASDAQ was also down about 1.5%, but it makes me wonder if the bond rate was really noticed by investors at all. The bond rate was 2.3%, and it hit that number a few days ago, so either the investors didn't realize it or they just ignored it. We did see something that we haven't seen in a while, and that was the devil himself, Dr. Frodsky, making an appearance to talk about the new version of the scary Omicron variant. Oh, I haven't done that in so long. I'm so excited. Let me do it again. The scary Omicron variant. Oh. So it seems that Big Pharma isn't done milking the government with the scamdemic, and now the FDA is ready to approve the heart-stopping vaccine for children. Hey, YouTube, for you guys, just so you understand, heart stopping means the investors are going to have a heart attack if they miss this investors. For the rest of you, you know what I meant. All right, energy stocks also ruled the market once again as oil prices moved up. And this is to me, this is the newest scamdemic, by the way, right? Oil prices are only moving up because the companies are allowing it to. There's no real reason for oil to move up. It's a rumor that oil isn't being supplied fast enough, and that's making the oil companies and oil speculators charge more. It's a very capitalistic thing to do, and we should all thank Biden for helping the capitalists make more money off his bad decisions. On the other hand, I kind of wonder if the oil companies are basically blackmailing good old honest Joe into reopening the pipeline and allowing them to drill in the United States for all the oil we will ever need. Hey, Joe, stop partnering with the bad guys in other countries and start helping American citizens. Oh, wait, that might mean that Hunter Biden would be out of a job? Does anyone else but me wonder if Hunter is still getting paid by Ukraine during the war? Send us some missiles, and also here's some money, right? Whatever. Has anyone else thought about the fact that Russia is laughing at Biden because they know that they can release the kraken of information that will implement the Bidens? Yeah, okay. Okay, getting back to the market anyway, that's fine. All right, as I said, the oil companies led the way, but nothing really remarkable happened yesterday. I'm kind of surprised that the Dow was down as much as it went up or went down. It's it is what it is. The other surprise was that Apple finished up, even with the NASDAQ finishing down 186 points. You know, Boeing also moved down. As I mentioned at the end of yesterday's show, the black box in China Airlines crash was found, and until the recordings are released, Boeing will probably be a bit shaky, and that's pretty much what happened yesterday. It dropped about 4 or 5 points, then it came back up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm looking for a below 180 day to move back into the play. I believe traders are going to get ready to move back into long-term plays for this. And also, they're going to be moving into long-term plays everywhere. This will make the market go up and probably won't be breaking records for a while. But let's take a look at the futures. So right now, the Dow is up 169, the S&P is up 28, and the NASDAQ is up 104.5. Hey, real quick, I want to say hello to Pam and Mark. Thanks so much. I totally appreciate you guys. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Supreme Court nomination. All right. I got to be honest, I kept saying to myself that I was not going to go down the rabbit hole of the Supreme Court nomination hearings, and my initial feelings were, look, it's real simple. When Democrats are in office, Democrats get appointed to the Supreme Court, and when Republicans are in office, Republicans get voted in. You know, that's just kind of how it goes, right? We already know that Biden is a racist by making his election of the nomination based on gender and skin color, and not the qualifications. So, what else could bring this topic, what else bringing this topic up do anyway? Well, after what I heard yesterday, I had to take the opportunity to discuss my feelings on this. All right, a few weeks ago, when the racist Joe Biden picked the black woman to be the nomination, I had to laugh when I found out her name. Remember, he's looking for a black woman. It has to be a black woman. It can't be anybody else. It has to be a black woman, right? So I found out her name. Her name, as you know, is Ketanji Brown Jackson. All right, I got to say, my first thought was not only did he pick a black woman, but he picked a black woman with the perfect black woman name. No, seriously, her name is Ketanji Brown Jackson. That would seriously be like picking a Jew named Avraham Leibowitz, just because you were picking a Jew. Or how about an Italian to be picked with the name, I don't know, let's see, Aldo Mancini. Anyway, you get the point. All right, before I go on, I have to say that I admire Ketanji Brown Jackson. From what I've seen of her, she appears to be well-educated, well-respected, and clearly likable. I don't like her politics, but clearly likable. With that being said, I was compelled to write this story based on a question she was asked at the nomination hearings. So Ms. Jackson is not only a Democrat, but she is clearly a left-liberal nutcase. When she was asked by Senator Marsha Blackburn, a Republican in the state of Tennessee, and she was asked a very important question on this ridiculous world of gender fluidity, right? So wait, I'm going to play this for you because I think it's better than repeating it. Hold on.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
No. Yeah.
I can't.
You can?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address dispute.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman? And she said she can't? Oh, wait a minute. Can I even say her or she? That would probably imply that Jackson is a woman, but wait, it's just amazing to me. All right, now that I heard this, I want to help Jackson by providing her with a few answers that may shed some light on the subject. First and foremost, the definition is someone born with a vagina. And they are a woman if they are. But here's some other possible answers to the question as well. A woman is biologically capable of hosting a child in the womb. A woman is someone who is biologically growing breasts that are capable of lactating. A woman is someone who has a hole with a stick on a biological mantis. So what's so difficult to understand? All right, look, I must tell you that now here's my solution to the problem of transgender men competing in sports with real women. Here's my answer, and it's simple. The sport will no longer be called men or women's sport, or called boys or girls sports. It'll be renamed Born with a Penis Sports or not born with a penis sports. This will make it clear, and it will stop robbing women of their titles by mediocre men competing against them. Oh, by the way, in Philly, the sports category will be called Wit or Without. You guys in Philly got that joke. It's unbelievable that they're actually trying to nominate a black woman into the Supreme Court who doesn't know what a woman is. Someone should ask her the definition of the word black next time. I wonder if she'll be able to answer that one. I don't know, maybe Biden made a mistake in his virtue signaling on this one. All right, let's talk about semiconductors and oil. We've all seen how oil has been the token in the war of Europe, and it's basically been the key bargaining chip, and oil has major cause of inflation. Well, now, Intel and other chip manufacturers are realizing our dependency on other countries making semiconductor chips is going to create the same, and it's going to create the same problem as the oil problem. So making them in other countries is going to create the same problem. By the way, in 1980, about 80% of all chips were made in the USA, and now 80% of all chips are made in other countries like Taiwan. We experienced supply chain problems this summer, and that caused a backlog of computers and automobiles. It's still tough to find the chips we need here in America, but now the chip manufacturers are going to Washington to ask for funds to build chip manufacturing factories known as fabs, and they want to build them here in the United States. The Democrats are trying to pass a bill called the America Competes Act. This bill is focused on semiconductors with $52 billion going to the sector. It also has a supply chain segment of $45 billion and $8 billion going to Green Climate Fund. By the way, I have to tell you, there is another part of this bill going to combat misinformation. Oh yeah, it's going to combat misinformation. What does that mean? Oh, I guess it's the bribe money for the people involved in muting the truth from the internet. You know, the money that Zuckerberg and his media censors get as pocket change. Anyway, the bill is a good idea for the most part. However, it also might be too late. If 80% of the manufacturing of chips in Taiwan and other countries, it would take decades to move that over here. Until then, we're going to have problems, especially if China decides to take over Taiwan, like Russia decided to take over Ukraine. For you investors, real quick, this is an opportunity for you to jump in chip manufacturing stocks. If the bill gets passed, and I definitely believe it will, chip stocks like Intel and Micron will move up, and this will be a big win for the industry. And I got to tell you, they're currently a buy. I also noticed that Intel hit a double bottom, and as soon as it moves over 50, it'll be a beautiful play, and it'll be a breakout for the stock. So look for this bill to pass, and I'm sure, of course, the president's going to sign it. Besides the fact that it's a feather in his cap, he basically always does what Mommy Pelosi tells him to do. Anyway, let's take a quick break because I'm running over.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com. All
right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube. And of course, I want to thank all my listeners on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. Don't forget to, guys, hit that like button, hit that share button, and let's get into it right now. All right, so far we've been discussing, of course, the futures update. And right now the Dow is up 162 points, not bad. We've been talking about, the S&P is also up 28, and the NASDAQ is up 110. So it'll probably be a nice day. We talked about the fact that the Supreme Court nomination is a black woman who doesn't know what a woman is. What? We talked about the fact that semiconductors will hopefully be starting to be made in the USA. so we don't have the same problem we had with oil. Coming up, we have SpaceX and China, and then we're also going to be discussing whether gas or electric cars are cheaper. All right, and of course on today's show, we also have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Come on, guys, hit that like button. I want to say hello to a couple of people out there who joined us. We have Fawad, is that right? And we have Ruben, and we have Michael. And thanks, guys. I totally appreciate you guys watching. Of course, coming up, we have today's picks and plays. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home, and let me know what you think of the show. All right. Don't forget, real quick, before we start the second half, I've been talking to you about a great event, and this great event is going to be held at the Washington Crossing Inn in Bucks County, and it's basically a finance and freedom event. Along with myself, we will have the outspoken Bill Spadea as a keynote speaker, and we also have Doug Mastriano, and this is a great, I'm telling you, this is going to be a great event. You want to be in the same room as Doug Mastriano? It's really possible this guy's going to be governor, and wouldn't it be cool to have a picture of him? So go over to 4mmw.com, 4mmw.com, and register for this event before the price increase. We have something like 40 seats left. We added a couple more seats. We have like 40 seats left, so you definitely want to check that out too. Real quick, I'm going to say hello to Jose, and I want to say hello to Bill. All right, let's get into the second half. I am running late today. All right, so let's talk about SpaceX and China. You know, a couple of years ago, it seemed like the world was getting along. It was more like an uncomfortable funeral where all the relatives got together and talked for the first time in 20 years. You know, they all realized they had something in common, you know, not just the deceased, but other things like politics, stress, and also other thoughts and ideas. You know, like the funeral example, the countries still didn't like each other, but they got along at least for that day. You know, now we have chaos in the world. You know, country versus country, sister versus brother killing each other, and stress and fear is everywhere. Well, Elon Musk is now in the center of attention in a different way than his usual antics. We have seen him smoke a joint on a podcast, and he's made some crazy tweets that, you know, caused his Twitter account to now be monitored by the SEC, but Musk has other problems now. Musk has a company that I'm sure you're aware of. It's called SpaceX. And this company is leading the way in space exploration and looking to be a major player in the corporate space race. Of course, Musk also owns a company that you may have heard of. The company is called, I don't know, you might have heard, like I said, it's called Tesla. Now, Tesla is a company that sources parts and probably chips from several parts of the world, including China. Now, this is starting to become a concern of U.S. lawmakers. Tesla has loans also from China banks, and China is a large buyer of Tesla vehicles. So basically, the Tesla and China economies are very much intertwined. The lawmakers are worried that this may cause a security risk. You know, some say it is possible that Musk could be compromised to share secret technology with China. So the rocket technology and satellite technologies are the main concern for the security agencies here in the United States. Now, because of this, a bill was introduced that would bar the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, you know, NASA, and other U.S. government agencies from awarding contracts to companies with suppliers who have ties to China. And it would require more disclosure of Chinese investment in companies involved in the private space launch industry. So there's a lot of chatter going on with this issue, and both Democrats and Republicans are concerned. Look, we know that Musk is a huge supporter of Republicans, and they are still concerned. You know, this is an interesting case of, should the world get smaller, or should it stay the same? Well, we will see how it plays out. However, I believe that Musk holds all the cards here, and China will continue to be the leader in technology, both on and off the planet. So it's going to be a little bit tough, right? I think that this guy by the way, I've always said this. I think that Musk has been stranded here from another planet, and he's trying to find his way home. That's my thought on Musk. All right, let's talk about gas or electric cars. So coming off the last topic, I actually thought it would be a good idea to segue into a comparison of gas versus electric cars and the cost to operate. You probably already guessed it, that it is cheaper to operate an electric vehicle per mile than gas-powered vehicles per mile. And, you know, of course, spoiler, you're correct. But here are some interesting facts. Yet gas prices, even though gas prices are moving up at a ridiculous rate, Don't forget that the cost of creating electricity is also moving up, and that means the cost to charge more of your will cost more to charge your electric vehicle. So a recent article in CNBC showed graphs and charts about the cost of each and priced out the cost per 100 miles of travel in different areas. The areas highlighted were some of the most expensive areas like Boston and San Francisco, and it was important that you compare them to these areas. So in reality, San Francisco, the average cost to drive 100 miles in a gas-powered car was over $18. Now, the average price to travel 100 miles in an electric charged car was just under $10. In Boston, the numbers were $14 for gas and just under $10 for electric. Now, the country average was about $14 for gas and about $6 for electric. Now, the graph also showed that when gas prices were at its lowest, before the brain-dead Biden administration caused gas prices to explode, the difference was only about $3 per 100 miles. So still a savings, but does it really justify selling your gas-powered car and buying an electric car? And that, my friend, is up to you. However, the study also showed that the total lifetime ownership of an electric vehicle is about $4,700 less than that of an internal combustion vehicle. So if the gas car is less expensive than the EV car by $4,700, you're already ahead. But don't forget, you also need to install a charger for your home to charge the vehicle. And, right now it's actually come down in price. They're about $1,000 to $1,500, so that must be taken into consideration as well. Look, I don't know. I'm still not ready. I'm not ready to buy an electric vehicle, but if you are, I don't think it's a big deal either way. I think it's kind of cool. All right, let's take a break, and we'll see you in a minute. Investor Schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor schooling? Never heard of.
Investor schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. And it's a great class tonight. We're going to be talking about HSAs versus Roth IRAs versus IRAs. This is actually a really good class, and if you've never attended a free class, you definitely want to be there. Go to investorschooling.com. Hey, I have to make a mention because Mike said something online which I thought was absolutely brilliant. He said that senators investing in China is a bigger security risk than Elon Musk investing in China, and that makes total sense. All right, so far the futures are up 135, the S&P is up 23, and the NASDAQ is up 86. We also talked about the Supreme Court nomination hearing, and we talked about the fact that Ketanji Brown Jackson does not know what a woman is. Oh, crazy. We talked about semiconductors and oil. We talked about the risk of SpaceX and China, and we discussed the fact that electric cars are cheaper to operate, but not necessarily worth the price. All right, we also got coming up today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that share button? Did you hit that like button yet? Let everyone know what great stock plays are coming by sharing this information. And of course, if you share it the most, you're going to get a free ticket to the Freedom and Finances event. And you can find out more about that by going to www.4mmw.com, 4mmw.com. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel every day and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the stock market and the politics behind the stock market. All right, let's go. Let's talk about what's going on. After yesterday's breather, the market should return to the green today, and it looks like it will. I still like the travel stocks, and I'm going to keep saying it until I'm either wrong or until I'm right. As I mentioned earlier, the semiconductor chips should be a good play as well. Look for Micron and Intel for this play. I think those are going to be the two best semiconductor chips to play. I like Intel right now. I like the chart. It looks really good. Look, the bond market also seems to not be driving the stock market any longer. It appears the oil market is now the key indicator. Watch this number. However, I actually think it's going to drop below 100 and stay there for a while. Now, it may take a week or two before that happens, but it's going to drop below 100 and stay there for a while. But I also think it's going to stay in the 90s because the gas company's going to milk it, right? Or the oil company's going to milk it. When the war ends and the fear of oil prices going up will subside, and then, of course, the market's going to react positively. The real question is whether the United States will take the initiative to make sure we are oil independent in the future. You know, it's like we talked about the chips makers before, right? So the chip makers, they want to make chips here so they don't have to depend on other countries. Maybe we should depend on our country for oil instead of other places. You know, it may actually happen after we get rid of the president who is dependent on the kickbacks from the other countries who provide oil to us. So when we get rid of that president, it's really possible. All right, let's look at the futures one last time. The Dow is up 138, the S&P is up 23, and the Nasdaq is up 85. So it's actually probably be a decent day. On the crypto scene, Bitcoin and Ethereum are slowly moving up. Bitcoin is about 42,000, and Ether is hovering a little above 3,000. So that's a good sign. Gold is about 1950, and silver is about 25.5. And honestly, they haven't moved much, but they seem to be behaving more normal as their price goes up and down, contrary to the stock market. So I would expect that the gold and silver would go down today if the stock market moves up. Now, the Treasury bond is still the one baffling me. It is at about 2.38% right now, and I don't know, that just baffles me. I actually thought, again, that this would affect the Nasdaq, and it seems to be that the Nasdaq is ignoring it, which is good news. Oil is also slightly above 114 a barrel, and now this is the new market indicator. So you definitely want to know, you definitely want to watch this. You want to look for it. Hey, look, we all know, of course, that a new financial situation is coming. Will it be a recession or will it be a simple downturn? Well, if you want to survive through it, you should order my new book. Go to barnesandnoble.com and look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. The title is called Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. Pre-order it. I promise you're going to learn something. And hey, if you've been listening, my accountant actually says that it might be tax deductible. So you can tax deduct the entire $20 that you paid for the book. All right, I've been telling you, of course, about the Great Freedom and Finances event. Go to 4mmw.com. Go to 4mmw.com. You'll get to meet Doug Mastriano, Bill Spadia, and some other amazing people. So you definitely want to go there as well. And listen, don't forget, tomorrow is Phone Call Friday. So you'll be able to call in, and definitely, if you want to call in, it's lots of fun. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank the listeners on WWDB Radio. And don't forget that time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Make it a profitable day.